Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the 5th place AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, as you can see comfortably in 5th, but still not in 4th where we would like to be, or even in 2nd where we would like to be more. Today, I have benched Dini. Dini and I had a talk. I said that I appreciated all that he'd done for the team in the beginning of the season, but it was ridiculous that he was playing clearly, if not intoxicated, then certainly in... He just wasn't, I mean, you guys have seen his play. It's disgusting. It's, it's not professional. It's not what we expect of the Wimbly Womblys. And I think when someone is working incredibly hard, like Jaggy double lightning bolt O, I think that we have to say to that person, yeah, you're not as good statistically, but you play hard, and that's valued here, and we take that seriously, and we're going to give you a chance. So that's what we're doing. We're giving a chance to... Look at him. Look how fast he is. Look how hard he works. We're giving a chance to Jaggy. Oh, he hit the post! Oh, he missed by an inch! That's frustrating. Who was that? Was that Mos Vestergaard again? He's getting a lot of action if it was, but he really needed to finish there. John, I hate to say this, but, Ball John Green puts that in the net 10 times out of 10. But unfortunately, he's injured. So we're starting Lightning Strikes the same place twice. Jaggy, Lightning Strike O. And Dini's actually not even on the bench. He's in the reserves. I made it known to Dini that he's going to have to, if he wanted to continue being a Wimbly Wombly, then he's going to have to just, get his act together. It's difficult. Obviously, you want to be supportive of people when they're part of your team, and also when they're making, obviously, I don't think that Dini wants to be tanking his career. Like, I don't think that, that's his ambition or anything, but that's what's going to happen if he doesn't get there. Get around him! Get around him, Dicko. Dicko. Could have done a little bit better there. All right, so, yeah. What am I talking about today? I have forgotten in a rash of excitement. Oh, Ebola. Speaking of rashes of excitement. I mean, it's really, so I'm fascinated by the Ebola outbreak, not least because of how many times I've been wrong about it. I felt very strongly that people would get serious, that the international community would get serious about the crisis in Liberia and Sierra Leone, and that would result in the end of this Ebola outbreak. That didn't happen. Then I felt that there would be Americans who would get Ebola in those countries, and then they would end up here, but that there would never be a secondary infection. In fact, I believe I have said in public that there will never be a secondary Ebola infection. Obviously, that was wrong. By the way, I'm filming this 10 days ago, so if something dramatic has happened and we've all died of Ebola, then, I'm super sorry. I mean, not least because I wanted to live a long and happy life. But yeah, I don't know. I could easily be wrong again. So bear that in mind. What a great ball. What a great ball. Finish. Oh, you hit the post again. That was Frankenstein off the post. He almost did the mash. He almost did the monster mash. Oh, it's frustrating. But you got to say, we're playing our tails off right now with Jaggy Lightning Strike O. Oh, my goodness. How are these not going into the goal? This is getting ridiculous. Oh, so here's my basic feeling about Ebola. We can no longer, and I may say this in a Vlog Brothers video soon, so some of this may be repetitive, but we can no longer live in a world where we imagine health as anything but global. That is now clear to me, and not just that it's a global health crisis, but we also can't think of health separate from the economy. And we can't think of communicable diseases separately from non-communicable ones. Because, we're in this crazy, crazy situation now with Ebola. Get there! Get there! Yes! Yes! It's Jaggy Lightning Strike! Oh, Lightning strikes the same place twice! What a great finish. I told you, Meredith, see, that's the kind of hustle that Dini doesn't have. Dini can't bring that to the game, and so he's a much better player, but with that lack of work rate, he's less useful to our club. Because look, and that was him again. It's still Lightning Strike O. Just going at it. Look at him. He won't give up. Oh, no. Oh, no. He was offside. Of course he was offside. The cheaters. So, boy, not by much. So, right, we cannot think, for instance, we have thought of Ebola as a communicable disease, which it is, right? But it also has had profound effects on the economy which has an effect on health. You know, there may be, because of decreased agricultural production and other factors, we may see famine in West African countries, not just this year, but next year or the year after. There are all these stories, way too many stories, that was like, Ebola is going to affect America's supply of chocolate. And I was like, that seems like maybe not the biggest problem associated with Ebola, but it is true. It will affect our supply of chocolate. Because a lot of our chocolate comes from West Africa, and also that, you know, like, we like to think of these diseases that predominate in the developing world as being diseases that we can't get, and it's really interesting to see the sort of level of panic in the U.S. And then, of course, the level of panic in West Africa is exponentially worse, and they're, you know, some of the panic, not all of it, but some of it is warranted. You know, I think people need to, it's very difficult to react rationally to something that's scary and novel, like Ebola, but it is not in the, you know, it is not in the Western world anything like the threat that texting while driving is, or the threat that guns are. You know, I mean, thousands more people are going to die from gunshot wounds over the next 10 years than are, I think, I might be wrong, than are going to die of Ebola. While there have been secondary infections, and that is very surprising to me, and I clearly didn't understand the situation when I was making bold prognostications, which is a good lesson for me. But, like, this is not going to be something that gets out of control in the U.S., I don't think, because infection control here is just too good. It is really, really a different scale than what we see in Liberia and Sierra Leone and Guinea. And even there, you know, I mean, the infection rate is way, way too high. It's terrifyingly high. It's like 2 people get Ebola for every 1 person who gets it. So that means that, you know, the numbers slowly double. But it's not like 3 or 5 or something, or even 2.5. And it seems to be going down. I mean, again, that is subject to change, but it seems to be headed more toward 1.5, and then eventually, hopefully, to 1, which is when people will stop getting the outbreak will stop growing. It's scary. I mean, but also, like, it's devastating to, it looks like the African Cup of Nations might be canceled, for instance. Now, that's a tiny thing, but it's a big economic event and in Africa, and it's a big it's a big sporting event where all the African nations come together and have this big sort of like World Cup of Africa, and like the Euros or whatever. And to have that canceled is a big deal. Like, and I think if it ends up getting canceled because, oh no, are you kidding me? All right, Seb Brown, make your paycheck. D. Michelis, hold that hideous horsehair of yours. Oh, he did kick him a little bit from behind. I guess that's against the rules. All right. Big money. No, come on, you can do it. You saved 2 penalties against Luton Town. Oh, he was late to the ball. He went the right way, but he was late. Stanislas. Oh, boy. Lightning strike, lightning strike. Oh, I need you now more than ever. The 2 times that we hit the post looming large in our memories at this point. Lightning strike, lightning strike, oh. Lightning strike, lightning strike, oh. Lightning strike, lightning strike, oh. Are you kidding me? What a run! Oh, then he fell apart at the end. He couldn't get the cross in. That was disappointing. But, you know, he's not the most talented player. He is the most committed, though. I love his commitment. I mean, I'd rather have that. I really would. That's what I was saying to Yabamba the other day in practice. Is that I genuinely care more about that kind of commitment than anything. So what I was saying about the African Cup of Nations is that is just one example among many of how in a globalized world, any health crisis that's regional immediately becomes a world health crisis and a world economic crisis, because it just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks the size of the economy. Like all of this economic activity that would be happening suddenly isn't happening because people are afraid to travel, they're afraid to move, they're afraid to, you know, import goods from other countries and all of that stuff. That's how our economy works. Like that's how things have grown so much in the last 50 years. And it is really scary to me to think of like a life beyond that or without that. Look at Callum Kennedy. Look at Callum Kennedy go. It's not a bad cross, but there's nobody there. The Wimbly Wombly story. All right, focus, calm, pass. Yeah, no, kind of. Focus, calm, shoot. Focus, calm, shoot. Nope. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is that like we think of these things as communicable health crises, and they are. Like obviously Ebola itself is a huge health problem, but in the end more people might die from the non-communicable or you know not non-novel at least diseases because of the Ebola crisis than die of Ebola itself. So like, why did you not run to the ball? Excuse what? Is it lazy day? It's infuriating. Oh, it's because he's a little tired. Just a little bit. Mose Vestergaard's a smidge tired. Bringing on Kaz. Nope, bringing on Falksgaard. All right, then we're going to bring on John Green, give him a chance, give him a dream. Wait, do we have one more? Could we bring on an out-of-place Yabamba? Or even Kaz. Let's bring on Kaz. Let Kaz make a dream come true. Or, nope, Yabamba. I agree, Meredith. It should be Yabamba. You're right. All right, so we've got like 3 seconds left here in the game. We're going to try to make 3 substitutions all at once and see if we can win. But yeah, the point I was making, that like, so because Ebola has devastated health workers, because it's made health workers afraid to go to work, because it's made people afraid to go to clinics and hospitals, more people are going to die of diarrheal illnesses, more people are going to die of pneumonia, more people are going to die of malaria. And so we can't see communicable health crises as separate from other health crises, because they affect anything that affects the healthcare system affects every, you know, it makes every disease that much worse. And that is really, that is also really, really scary to me. Yabamba. Yabamba. Yabamba! Ugh, don't give up. That's right. Take a swing at him. I love it. I love your courage. Get up and run. Pass it out of bounds. Yes. Go get that ball. We're moving into super attacking mode now. Yabamba. Yep. 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 Get him. Oh. Thought I had the corner on him. Oh, we tied. I hate tying. Don't celebrate ties. They're like losses. Stanislas' stupid penalty, thanks to DiMichelis' unbelievably stupid kick in the heels, leads to a 1-1 draw against Burnley, and the Wimbly Womblys remain precariously in the playoff positions, well out of the automatic promotion positions. Nervous times for the Wimbly Womblys. Thank you for watching. Best wishes.